NVIDIA is comfortable because AMD is behind, just like Intel was comfortable because AMD was behind. Intel was once very comfortable, overly comfortable. Like any other company that doesn't have a real competitor, it becomes exploitative to the highest degree. A company without a competitor, way ahead of others, what will it do? It will exploit the user. That's their nature, all of them. Intel used to raise prices in a disgusting way and humiliate users. It knew it had no alternative. It was the best, it was ahead, and it knew the user would be forced to buy its products because there was no better alternative. AMD, its only competitor, was very far behind. Intel was using the 14 nanometer technology, which means the transistor size itself was 14 nanometers. Intel kept releasing the same technology without developing or improving it, except for simple things, maybe like a 5% performance increase with each generation. At that time, it was basically saying to AMD, please, catch up with me. One of the things Intel used to do in that period, it would release a processor and tell you with 14 nanometer technology. You'd say, okay, I'll buy it. Next generation, it will improve. It improves 1%. Then it says, new technology. You ask, what's the technology? Intel says, 14 nanometer plus. You ask, how plus? Did the transistor get smaller or bigger? I don't understand. Then 14 nanometers, plus, plus. Literally, Intel reached plus, 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 plus. 4 pluses, under the name of a new technology. It was clear that Intel was way too comfortable with the lead it had. Instead of investing its profits, let's say, into research and development and new technologies, Intel basically told itself, why should I do all that? I can just put this money in my pocket and keep selling the same processor every generation. AMD is too far behind now. We arrive at 2017, the worst year in Intel's entire history. What Intel didn't know in 2014 was that something had happened that would kill Intel, end Intel's life. That thing was a person named Lisa Su. Lisa Su became the CEO of AMD in 2014. The first thing she did, she cleaned AMD entirely from useless things, departments with no benefit. She removed them. Old, bad management, she removed them. She managed resources properly, put all the budget into research, development, engineering, and things related to new innovations or new ideas in processing methods. Before I continue, let me give you an interesting fact that might make you sleepless at night, or maybe not, I don't know, not confirmed. Lisa Su, the CEO of AMD, is related from the same family to the CEO of NVIDIA. Literally, the CEO of NVIDIA and the CEO of AMD are cousins from the same family. And yet the competition between them is extremely fierce. Anyway, that's just an interesting fact, unrelated to the video, but fun to know. Okay, Lisa Su focused on research and development from 2014 to 2017. That was her main focus. What came out of this research? One of the things Lisa Su did was contract with TSMC, the company that manufactures processors and GPU chips. TSMC had the best technology in the world for manufacturing these things. So Lisa Su decided to contract with them and let TSMC manufacture AMD processors with the best technology available in the world. Unlike Intel, Intel used to manufacture its own processors, which was expensive. So the first thing she did was move the burden of manufacturing from AMD to TSMC. The second thing they came up with from R&D was that they completely changed the design and architecture. The first thing AMD did was switch its processors from monolithic design to a design called chiplet. What is monolithic and what is chiplet? The monolithic design is the one Intel refused to leave for some reason. What were its problems? Let's say we have a processor with 8 cores, 1, 2, 3, 8, all placed on a single silicon die. The die is the gray part, called the die. All 8 cores are printed on it. The first problem, parts of the die are wasted for nothing. For example, some areas are useless. This is very expensive, especially during harvesting. Harvesting means, here's a silicon wafer. This is what processors are printed on, whether by UV lasers or other techniques. After the processors are printed, the number of processors you can get from one wafer is called the yield. But because processors are square, problems happen when you print them on something circular, like the wafer's edges. For example, these corner parts can't be full processors, so you throw them away. You can't sell half a processor, so yield is very important in chip manufacturing. Back to monolithic design. These wastes reduce the number of processors you can harvest from one wafer. That means wasted resources, wasted money, and a lot of inefficiency. AMD said, "We're going to change this," and they brought chiplet design. Now, AMD didn't invent chiplets, but it was one of the first to use them. The chiplet design idea, instead of putting all 8 cores on one big die, you separate them into smaller dies. Why? Because smaller dies give you higher yield. So AMD separated cores into different dies in a chiplet design. That way, the wasted silicon areas are minimized and yield increases. Instead of one big square processor, you now have several smaller dies combined into one processor. That saves silicon, resources, money, everything. This was one of the first slaps to Intel. AMD had been working on this in secret, so it surprised everyone with it. The chiplet design allowed AMD to make its new architecture, the Zen architecture. Zen was put into Ryzen processors. The first Ryzen made a huge noise in the market because of Zen. This architecture came in with slaps, punches, wrestling, and celebrations against Intel. For example, Intel, using its monolithic design and its architectures like Coffee Lake, Whiskey Lake, etc., was selling 4-core processors at high prices, exploiting people. But AMD, with its new design, gave you 8 cores for the same price as Intel's 4 cores, double the cores for the same price. Sometimes the 8-core Ryzen was even cheaper than Intel's 4-core CPUs. Of course, when AMD announced this, 8 cores at the same price, people didn't believe it. They thought performance would be worse than Intel's 4 cores. At that time, no one really believed in AMD, but the new Zen architecture not only gave you more cores at a cheaper price, it also gave you better performance. AMD also had expansion in mind. It knew this would succeed, would defeat Intel, but it also planned ahead to enter servers, laptops, mobile chips, etc., and it succeeded. It beat Intel in servers with EPYC processors and in high-end PCS with Threadripper processors. Basically, AMD was like the hero in movies who dies, then comes back from death, and wins. And AMD didn't repeat Intel's mistake of relaxing after victory. No, even after its win, it continued developing its architecture with Zen 2, Zen 3, and more. Big cloud companies like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, all used to run Intel in their servers. Now, all of them moved to AMD. Cheaper, better, more cores, better technology. All these improvements put Intel in crisis. From 2017 to 2018, Intel got slapped hard, and to this day, it's still recovering. One of the smartest, or at least interesting, things AMD recently did is 3D cache. The idea behind it is beautiful, something Intel could never think of. What is 3D cache? Okay, imagine your motherboard. Here's the CPU, here's the RAM. Think of it like a city. The CPU is in one neighborhood, the RAM in another, GPU in another. Every time the CPU needs information quickly, it has to travel to another neighborhood. But there are some types of data the CPU needs faster than RAM can provide. The solution? Caches. L1, L2, L3 caches. L1 cache works like RAM, but is inside the core itself, so access is very fast. It's tiny, 32 kilobytes to 64 kilobytes, but extremely fast. L2 cache, also like RAM, but outside the core, slower than L1 but bigger. L3 cache, shared by all cores, much bigger. Very useful in gaming. If you increase L3 size, gaming performance increases. AMD said, "We want to increase L3 size, but without making the processor bigger." So they stacked cache vertically instead of spreading it out. That's why it's called V-cache, V for vertical. Example, Ryzen 7 800X has 32 megabytes L3 cache. The 7800X3D has the same 32 megabytes, but with 2 more stacked layers, making it 96 megabytes total. Games now have way more space for their data, and the CPU can access it faster. Gaming performance can be up to 30% better than the non-3D version. So now AMD is the leader in processors thanks to a new CEO, focus on R&D and new ideas, cheaper prices with better performance. What's the lesson here? Why did I even make this video? First, to see how companies, when they get too comfortable, stop innovating, like Intel. Second, NVIDIA. NVIDIA is literally doing the same thing Intel did. And if it continues, its fate will be the same as Intel's. NVIDIA is comfortable because AMD is behind, just like Intel was comfortable because AMD was behind. But Intel didn't know AMD was secretly working on something. Hopefully NVIDIA doesn't know AMD is secretly working on something now. And hopefully AMD surprises us. Because honestly, we need an alternative to NVIDIA. And I see AMD as the best choice. So far, we haven't seen exploitation from AMD like we saw from Intel when it was on top. So hopefully AMD, or maybe even NVIDIA if it wakes up, will fix this. If not, I hope AMD simply wins, defeats, or even kills NVIDIA like it killed Intel. See you in the next video. Goodbye.